lost all control. Her gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me.
Wow, it is my fault. Thank you, Don, for calling me out on that right away. I appreciate that. We are always a little bit late on our Wednesday streams, but it's just because we're trying to pack in just about as much fun as is possible to put in to a 2-hour show. I'm just saying we're here standing on it, jumping on it, trying to get it in 2-hour package.
It's like loading that suitcase for your big vacation.
Yeah, exactly. That's what every show is like back here in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy to pack so much fun into every episode, but we sure do our best. If you believe any of that. But welcome, everybody, and thank you for coming into our Wednesday show. This is going to be 2 hours of paranormal excitement and probably a lot of quirky hijinks as well. But that's how we roll here in the portal. And I say we because it's not just me and all my colorful personalities. It's also Mr. Don Longbeard joining me here in the studio.
Thank you, Sybil, for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apparently she had 17.
Yeah, I am the Paranormal Portal version of Sybil. Well, she only had 17. Okay.
Yeah, 17. Yeah.
I'm just joking. Like I have more, Like it's a race, like it's a competition. No, there's a lot of people in my head. I'm the nicest bunch of people you'll ever know. You never know. But welcome to the show, everybody, and hope you're doing good. Is your microphone working?
I don't know. I hear myself. Yes, it's working.
Yeah, it actually has to get closer to your mouth.
Closer, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I thought
how
the
that
mouth
works.
was big enough. People always tell me, "Why you got a big mouth?"
Yeah,
you should be able to hear me now.
I do hear you much better now. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Can you
so
hear me now?
I can. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, thanks.
I've heard enough of you. So
Brett, one of our chatters says Sybil was good people, not a person, but a people.
That's right. That's right. Brett Munson. How you doing? That's a new name, Brett Munson.
Yep.
Good to see you. And good to see all of you guys coming in. It seems like the numbers are just jumping up quicker and quicker, Don, as we do these shows.
Yeah.
More and more people are coming in and racing the clock to get in here. And that is always just humbling. It's just really cool because it means you guys really like us.
Kind of makes me wonder at other people's mental health.
Yeah, I don't know. It does still kind of catch me sideways. Like, I can't believe that many people want to show up to hear me just talk stupid, no microphone. But as long as it's entertaining, we're absolutely thrilled you're here. But Don, why don't you give us a roll call?
Roll call? Okay.
Let's see who is here.
Hump night.
Yeah.
Hump night roll call.
Wait, Bigfoot Odyssey, Carrie says, time for Mike school. He puts in quote Linda Arnold.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen her actually talking to a microphone
He
yet.
just fronted her out.
All right.
Awesome.
So on the top of the list, because she starts with a number, is 5, Hazel. A, Sage. Nice to see you. There's Anxiety Talks. And there's Belle Prepper, the Portal Hug Monster. I love that name. That's awesome.
That is sweet. That's a sweet name.
Our friend Beth and Mr. Kerry Arnold from Bigfoot Odyssey. Big Rob's here. Brandon, Brett Munson. He came over from KBS, by the way.
Oh, very cool.
We've got Black Tree just popped in. Nice to see you,
Hi,
Julia. Brandon Blackfire. Is that Blackfire? Yes, yeah, that's right. Let's see here. Cameron's here. Cha. Elaine's here. Gemini. Hi, Gemini. Hetty Lamar. Hi, how are you? I am Pam. Isaac's here. John Nelson. Linda Thompson. Excuse me.
You okay?
Yeah, I'll work it out. Let's see here. Let's see a lot of people just jumped. Hold on a second. So Kade popped in.
Hey, Kade.
There's
Good
Kade.
to see you, brother.
Did I say Isaac? John Nelson, Kade, Linda. Marilina's here. Mogyan Monster's here. Nessie Monster. Mr. Paranormal Portal himself. That guy right over there.
Power to the people.
Oh, my gosh. Power to the portal.
Power to the portal, people. That's right.
Rachel gets it right. Renee Harvey. Renee Cruz is here. There's Rick, a.k.a. Purple Hobbit. The Real Dell is here. Smoking Joe, Toolman Tim. And, of course, myself, Don Longbeard.
Just you. Haven't seen the Duke roll in yet?
Well, no. Actually, I don't see the Duke yet. No.
I see.
No, we don't see. That's the problem.
We don't see. Well, there it is. That's a whole bunch of people come here to talk to us. So
LM just clocked in, and Ms. Daniela just arrived as well.
welcome to all of you guys. Thanks for being here and being a part of the show. As the show progresses, just know that if you've got something paranormal that you'd like to share on the show, we'd absolutely love to hear from you. The call board will be open, and if you want to call in, the number is 720-923-0500. Again, 720-923-0500. And the number is above my head in the screen. If you're looking and you're going, oh, what was that number again? I got something I want to say. Well, that reminds me. So there it is. It's on screen right above me in my best Vanna White.
Goodness. Your best Vanna White.
Yeah, there it is. So my parade wave. Yeah, sorry. I just freaking, I don't know. I kind of stroke out here on the show sometimes. It's not always pretty, ladies and gentlemen, but it's the only entertainment I know how to bring you. So, wow. let's see what's going on with you, Don.
What's going on with me? Pretty standard. I had to put oil in my pickup today. The paranormal pickup, of course.
Oh, nice. It's not haunted anymore.
Well, it's I think it's straddling like dimensions right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like almost passing to this next world or what?
Oh no, it's still in this world. Okay. It just doesn't want to stay here. Apparently, It wants to time shift or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So it wants to be known as a Ford 150 instead of a Silverado 1500.
Oh, I love Fords though. I used to have an F-150.
Sell it if it did that. Though.
Ooh, whatever, you hater. You gotta love Fords.
Found on road dead.
First on race day.
Whatever.
I used to have a XLT Lariat. I love that truck.
Yeah,
I loved it so much that I lost it in my divorce. So.
Oh man, I'm not laughing at you, but that sucks.
It did suck. It
Wow.
did suck. But anyway.
Wow.
What do you do? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are, of course, underway here on the Paranormal Portal. And again, call in if you want to. But I hope you guys are all ready because we're going in. Nice. So,
And then Carrie goes, "You too?"
yeah, well, yeah, we just got a good judge working for us. That's all. We're gonna have like a podcast and YouTube creator therapy sessions here. Tell us how you feel, Wes. Are you
Tell us how
okay?
you really feel.
Are you all right?
Carrie, do you have anything to add to that?
We'll have a support group here for you guys that are sentenced to come in and be a part of the portal. It's wonderful.
Oh goodness!
Lots of love here, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Welcome, Wes. Good to see you. Yeah, I guess I was woken up by my cat. It's Paranormal Portal time.
Hey.
So your cat's a fan. That's
Wow,
nice.
that's awesome. Hey, Kade wants to know if the Skype is active.
It is. It's on. What do you mean active?
Well, I think you.
Oh, the call board is open. Yeah. So
call board's
by all means. Call in again 720-923-0500. Are you talking about?
I think he's talking about Skyping in.
I would have to Skype to you, Kade. So don't do anything. Let me do that quick. I'll get you on the horn here.
Well, he's probably busy editing his podcast.
Well, didn't he
'Cause
want to
he's
talk?
always- well, yeah, he probably does. But
Okay.
still, the point is we're helping him. Ditch work is what it is.
Well, I'm adding him to the call now, so we'll see what he's got to say. Stand by, Mr. Moya. You're coming up. Connecting to the portal. We're dragging you into the portal.
We're calling you, sir.
It's like a big Hoover. We're sucking people in. We already got Germer and Arnold in the chat. Now we're going to get Moya, you see.
Moya.
We're just sucking up all the entertainment all around. It's
Well, if we can't beat him, we might as well have him on the show.
That's right. He's not answering, though.
Well, that's his problem.
Well, we'll keep it ringing. I guess if he
Or
answers,
you could
then
just call. You could call too. Or do you have to add him?
I have to add him
Oh,
because otherwise it would disconnect us from the phone line.
Well, we don't need the phone line while he's on the phone. While he's on Skype.
I'm just adding him to the call. Either way, he's going to connect on. You okay over there?
Oh boy.
It's how we roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the Paranormal Portal. This is generally a show about the paranormal, but we tend to
Pair of normals, yes.
we are all kinds of paranormal. Uh-oh, did he not connect or did something happen? Nope, still ringing.
Yeah.
Kade, your phone's ringing. So just so you know, your Skype phone. All right, so let me start. I'm almost hesitant to start talking about something.
Well,
Till
you can put it off.
I can put what
so
off.
let's see. Real Dill says Ford. Effing old rebuilt Dodge. Yes. Yeah, that's,
Jeez.
thank you,
A
Real
lot
Dill.
of Ford hate out there,
That's
people.
all
Are
right.
you
It's all right.
This is like
That's all right.
it's a little emotional for me here.
He says he's good now. Give him a ring.
Oh, okay. What? I still am. It looks like, but
Oh.
let me try again. Let's see what the hell's
Answer
going-
your Skype, sir.
What do you think this is? A lesson in Skyping? Let's try it again. All right. We're going to add him.
Well,
All right. It's ringing soon, ladies and gentlemen. And Kade, if you're not familiar, is the host and creator of the Believe podcast from Australia. Welcome
G'day,
to the
boys.
Oh, there he
you are.
is.
Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
I think I'm good. Thank you. What's going on in the world down under?
Oh, mate, it is. You know what? You have it really, really good at the moment because it is a beautiful cold temperature where you are. Where I am at now, it is about 35 degrees today in the Celsius.
Yeah, but that still means nothing to us up here.
we're uncultured.
Just to let you know,
louts.
I'm melting down this way, boys.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you're just rubbing it in now. That's
Yeah.
not even nice.
Yeah.
I don't like winter at all, but if you ever want to trade, let me know.
You know, we
I
get
absolutely would.
we get winter in spurts. It snowed 3 days ago. Now it's melting. It's none of it. It's all gone.
Yeah, it's really weird up here right now, but
Crazy.
that's good. This is my kind of winter so far. We're doing it right. So what's on your mind tonight, brother?
Oh, mate, I am just wondering, what's the Sasquatch situation like in the wintertime over there? Do you find it picks up? Do you find it kind of dies down? Because here in Australia, the Yowies, they just seem to be, on patrol 24/7 because it's beautiful temperatures usually all the time. But I was just wondering if it quiets down with the colder temperatures your way.
Not really. I'm no expert by any measure, but what I can tell you is what I've heard. And Wes or Carrie, either of one of you want to pitch in on this, let me know. We can get you on the horn. But what I understand about it is that there is some people that say that during the winter months they come down from higher elevations to get closer to the game that's dropping down as well.
Yeah.
So they if they're in a mountainous region, they may be going up high during the summer and then coming down into the valleys in the winter. But it doesn't. I don't recognize, or I'm not aware of any discrepancies with Bigfoot activity and the seasons. But I would love to hear from either Kade or Wes or anyone else that wants to weigh in on this and set the record straight. So Wes or Kade or Wes or
Carrie.
Carrie 720-923-0500. Sorry.
It's gonna be a Bigfoot conference up in here.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, I just
Look, guys, I just wanted to call in,
Yeah.
ask a simple question there because I've always wondered.
Okay, well, hopefully we can get you an answer of some kind. Don't talk to me. Not sure how that could be known.
Carrie-
But that's what Carrie
Yeah,
says.
Carrie says don't ask me. Yeah, he
But
doesn't know.
I,
That's all right.
all I can tell
That's
you
all
is that
right, yeah.
it seems like there's never a season for sightings around here. It's like they seem to tolerate the cold as well as the heat real well, and remain pretty active throughout all of it, as far as I can tell. But yeah, that's a
Well,
great question.
I wonder if they do something like rabbits. You know, during the winter around here, all of our rabbits turn white. You know, so.
yeah. Well, there's that. I don't know.
So maybe it's just that we're not seeing them because they've got their snow camo on.
Yeah, that could be. I don't know. I don't know if they have hair or fur, and if the changing color is more of a dynamic of fur rather than hair. But yeah, great question, brother. It's great to hear from you. How's the podcast going?
Cheers, boys. What was that? Sorry.
How's the show going?
Flat out, actually. It's we've just moved our show to a seasonal format, so I can have a bit of a break about every 10 episodes, spend a bit of time with the family, and get cracking into the next season. But we have got about 4 or 5 UFO episodes lined up in a row. So I know the listeners of my show love it when people come on with extraterrestrial encounters and UFO encounters. So they're really going to be spoiled for the next 5 or so weeks with the content coming out of Believe.
Oh, very cool, brother. Well, keep us posted.
Absolutely.
I will love for you to call in and talk to us anytime you want to, brother.
Oh, mate, you call me at a good time. I'm working from home, so the boss can't see me.
Aren't you self-employed?
I mean the wife.
That's what I thought he meant.
That sounds good, man. Give our love to the family.
Will do, mate. You have a good one.
All right, we'll see you now.
Thanks, Cade.
Cheers, boys.
We do have a call here, so let's see who this is. This is area code 601. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, gentlemen?
Hey,
Mr. Kerry Arnold.
Mr. Arnold, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. I know I did say don't ask me, but that's just because I don't know.
Right.
Sure.
But I can tell you what we have kind of discovered. And that's just going to so many different places, talking to so many different people, is that it's just so hard to pin down one particular behavior to be an immutable characteristic, in my estimation.
Sure.
That you might have some that show up at a specific time at a specific place, but we don't know what kind of range they have. I mean, if they have a 10-mile range or radius in any direction, and your house happens to be one stop, how often are they coming by there? Once, twice a season? I mean, that could be part of it. And then there are some people that have them at their place year-round. They're just there constantly. So how anybody could know that they migrate, you just have to think for a minute what it would take to know that.
Sure.
You know, you would have to be able to identify a particular Sasquatch first.
Right.
And if you're doing that and not filming it, then you're a prick. Sorry. But
Sure.
that beyond that,
Right.
you'd have to know a particular Sasquatch and then know that it's being seen somewhere else far away, and then repeat it to know that it's something that it does and not just something that it did.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of the way I see this. I mean, I hear from these experts a lot, you know, quote unquote experts,
Sure.
that they migrate and, you know, but there's so much we don't know. We don't know what kind of metabolism they have. We don't know how they handle cold weather or hot weather. You know, we can only go by how we feel, and I would hardly compare them to us other than, you know, the silhouette at a distance.
Right. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. They do seem to be pretty much more robust than we are, as far as being a natural participant in the environment. But yeah, you're right. There's just a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, it's been like weeks since I've caught a show, man. I started the new job, and it's just been, I'm happy I got to make one. Hopefully I'll be able to make a lot more here in the future, but I'm not going to top the show long. Just wanted to call and kind of give my 2 cents since you actually asked for them.
Well, that's always welcome. I mean, we love hearing from you, brother, and I appreciate it because I don't claim to be any kind of knowledgeable person on the subject. I'm enthusiastic about it, but I don't know enough.
Me either.
Yeah. Well, that's
Me either. All I know is what I think and what I've heard, and that I can convey that once in a while. So.
Well, excellent. It's always great to hear from you and give the family our love as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, we're going to get you that microphone class for you and Linda. So hang in there.
Well,
All right. we'll beta test it for you.
Whatever.
Y'all back to the chat. Y'all be good.
All right.
All right. Take care, Carrie. Good
Thanks,
night.
Gary. Yeah, there's just so many different views on that kind of thing, though. I think, obviously nobody's right or wrong. I mean,
Sure.
It's a matter of, maybe, like Carrie said, we don't know if their range is 10 miles, because even if you had like a raccoon, you took them like, half mile down the road, they'd be able to find their way home because their range is like 2 miles.
Oh,
and
sure.
so like you could, like a pack rat, we had a pack rat at this place I worked at one time. The thing was huge. And we'd catch him and we'd take him out and, take him a mile down the road and he'd find his way back each time, and so, but there are the ideas or the thoughts that maybe they migrate. Duke says they don't migrate. They prefer 4,000 to 6,000 foot altitude areas, and they live there.
Oh, okay.
So, it's just, different, views. I mean, maybe different types of Squatch do different types of things. Maybe the Yowies down in Kade's area, they're more, they mainly stay in one area and, because, nobody's stupid enough to go out in 35C looking for a Squatch, right?
How much is that, by the way?
That's a lot. It's like,
I don't know.
It's over 100. I don't know.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It's got to be close to 100. Let me check. You said
Yeah, I'm curious now.
35 centigrade.
Because I'm totally at a disadvantage whenever anybody uses centigrade.
It's 95, so it's
or
95
Celsius, yeah.
Fahrenheit.
95, yeah, that's plenty warm.
That's hot. Yeah, I wouldn't be outside. I'd be melting in my tub. Like, so like I said though, and Duke says there's been groups of people watching the same groups of Sasquatch for years. So I mean, but then again, like I said, maybe one type of Squatch does something differently, or even if it's just a regional thing. Maybe there are some rogues or exiles range, as opposed to the family groups or the clans stay together. Maybe that's another thing to think about too. So
Sure. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's a lot of questions. I mean, in any paranormal topic, there's more questions than answers, obviously. But it's since there's no established line of thinking for any of them. Right. I think we all have our concepts and ideas. But yeah, I appreciate all of the input on that absolutely. Because I just don't have any clue.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't pretend to know. I don't research actively or even attempt to. I love learning about it because I think it's really cool to talk about these things that are going on, and I do have no doubt that these things are going on, and that people are experiencing these beings. They just are smart enough not to be noticed most of the time, and I think when they do get noticed, that's the paradox of it, though.
Yes.
So like they can go and be completely elusive for years, and then somebody will see one, and it couldn't care less. It's just like glancing over at somebody, and it's like, well, whatever, and goes back to doing whatever it's doing. So they almost. It seems like they choose to be seen, and once they're choosing to be seen, they don't care.
Right.
They are certainly not intimidated by us generally. So
yeah,
because they just glance over,
precious
and be
like an empty beer can.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a Foster's?
Yeah, Smoking Joe says, is that a Foster's? It's Australian for beer. Kade says it's horrible.
I think it's friggin' funny. He says, an Australian doesn't drink Foster's.
Well, Crocodile Dundee did. So, Smoking Joe says, let's assume Sasquatch is flesh and blood. Mm-hmm. What do you think about demons possessing a Sasquatch? Could explain things like glowing eyes, maybe. It's a concept I've heard a few times through the years. I think I don't know what to think about that, though. I mean, once you start Well, could it be possible? Sure. I mean, it really could. I don't know. But here's the part that's hard. The further that you start stretching this across different phenomena, the more harder it is to wrap your head around the whole concept. I mean, that there's Sasquatch enough is by itself enough to be like, wow, these things are out there. They are, experienced. They are people dealing with them sometimes, getting harassed by them sometimes,
Right.
being terrified by them sometimes. And it's a lot to wrap your head around because, for those people that just thought there were squirrels and deer and bear and oh my, and that was it. And now all of a sudden there's a huge 10-foot cryptid running around out there. So that's huge. But then you start crossing the phenomena with, well, there's these 10-foot things out there, and they are inhabited by demons from time to time, and that and then it gets harder to substantiate it because it's hard enough to substantiate that they're there, but then when you start attributing phenomena to them that comes from the spirits and esoteric realms, then it gets even harder. And so I don't know how to touch that, honestly, Smoking Joe. I'm not saying it's not possible. I just don't know what to do with it.
Right.
It's just it's so much to deal with mentally that we just don't know so much. And then to hear even broader claims like that, and I've heard that before. I know what you're talking about. I've heard those claims, and I don't know what to do with it.
Well, we've also had people make statements like they travel via portal.
Sure.
And then also we've had one person state that they live in underground caverns, and to see one is not a good thing because they're descendants of like the Nephilim. So there's been a lot of broad spectrum associated or attributed to these phenomena, these cryptids.
Right.
So, and I've also heard that, dogmen have been seen coming out of portals on Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes.
So there's all kinds of things, whether they're flesh and blood or not. There are so many people across all these different phenomena that relate back to one thing. And that one thing is they've had an experience. And that's all there is to it. They've had an experience. What they saw is what their experience brought them. It's like what you dream is not what I dream, because if you were, you'd be crazy like me. But so so I think there's a lot of the speculation. There's a lot of people who know, they have their belief, and that's absolutely fine. I personally, like I've said before, I think I would be more open to Bigfoot and aliens than to spirits and spirit realm stuff because of the tangibility, the possible tangibility of it. So, I'm not going to worry about, if one's seen around my house, then I'll worry about it.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like the idea that some people have witnessed Sasquatch and then they've witnessed flying saucers. So suddenly, they come from the flying saucers. Well, how do you get to that? Because is it just that they're curious about the lights going on in the forest too?
Yeah.
And so they kind of got careless and started looking to see what the hell those lights were? Right. Or did they get dropped off? Hell, I don't know. I mean, it could be either.
We had that one person write into us and said that, that when they had their experience, they woke up in that sterile room.
Like they got abducted too, yeah.
And then they're laying on the gurney next to them was a squatch.
Yeah.
Same thing happening to them, being examined.
Right.
So...
And that, to me, I guess makes more sense if there is abduction. I believe there is. That they would be abducting. I mean, God, they're abducting cows, for God's sakes. They're coring anuses on cows.
I knew you were going to go there. Reason. Why? Every time. You're like fascinated with that one aspect.
I'm actually disgusted by it because these are supposed to be higher intelligences. What are they going to learn from a cow anus? It's like, what's going on there?
There's been, cow mutilations. There's also people out there making the statement that we are being harvested like cows being mutilated.
Yeah.
And supposedly they're finding bodies of mutilated humans across the world and attributing it to aliens. And they say it's got to do with adrenochrome. The adrenaline that's dumped into the oxidized adrenaline that's dumped into your blood when you're scared or terrified, when you get that adrenaline boost. And a lot of people, there have been people that have made the claims that we're being harvested by aliens.
Sure.
Because of the adrenochrome. Now, what about Squatch? I mean, why are we not hearing any, we found a mutilated body of a Squatch and he was cored? Well, yeah. I don't know.
He was gored.
But I mean, these claims are being made, and whether it's true or not, unless I'm the guy, I might as well be from Missouri, the show me state, show me and then I'll believe, or whatever that is. So,
yeah. Oh, that's a good point, Rachel. That is really good. Maybe Bigfoot can see a larger light spectrum to see UFOs like Brent's UFO sighting.
Exactly,
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point, actually, and one I hadn't considered, but you're right. There's lots of speculation that they may see the infrared spectrum. So I suppose they could. They see them coming and going all the time. I don't know. There's so much speculation, but the portal is a discussion. That's what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen. So discussions like this are absolutely part of what we do.
So
we don't claim to have the answers.
Oh God, no.
So
God,
what were you going to say?
Well, while Kade was on the phone, Nessie Monster made a statement. She says, LOL, Cade's accent sounds so wildly Australian compared to Brent and Don's accent. Yet when he's talking on his own, I don't notice it so much. Sounds too funny. Nessie Monster, I don't have an accent. Kade has an accent, and Nessie Monster has an accent too. I believe she's Australian as well. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe she's necessarily got the American accent.
Hey Barry, good to see you. Barry just came in.
Oh, very good. Oh yeah, Barry. Yeah, hi. How are you? Bromance part 2.
I know. Lots of love. Love.
Wow. Hey, you want to show love? Make sure to hit that like and subscribe and ding that bell so you know that we're on every night at 7 o'clock.
Every night.
You don't even have to ding the bell. It's like dinner time. You know when you eat, right? Okay.
If you're in our time zone. I don't know what that means to where you guys are, but we are here every night for sure. And we've had a lot of great shows lately. I don't know. I just feel like this energy keeps building around the portal, and it's really exciting. So thank you all for that.
Oh, sorry. Nessie's a Kiwi.
Oh,
she's not Australian. She's Kiwi. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Which means she talks funny, too.
Well, we're huge. We're huge in New Zealand. I want to go there and check out the Hobbit Village. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
The filming locations for Lord of the Rings movies. Yeah. Yeah, we are a global phenomenon, believe it or not. It's hard to believe, but we are.
Oh, boy.
But we are, ladies and gentlemen, and people keep coming back. So I guess we're quirky and interesting enough to make that happen. So
Pam says Pam said any more on invisibility, and we're on the subject of Bigfoot. Now, I think she might be referring to our podcast the other day. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Of invisibility. Well, Duke's talked about cloaking, Bigfoot's cloaking, and, why would it be any bigger of a stretch to say they can become invisible on their own? Spontaneous Sasquatch invisibility, that kind of thing. So why not? We already say that they're naturally camouflaged. So...
Yeah, they're walking around in a ghillie suit. Yeah, it makes it pretty easy to blend in.
Yeah.
But if there is spontaneous human invisibility, then could that be why people are reporting seeing these Sasquatch phase in and out? Are they somehow naturally capable of this too? Yeah. Or are they intelligent enough that they just figured this out ages ago? I don't know. It's hard to know, but I think that's... I never even heard of spontaneous human invisibility.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
I knew that there were stories of it coming out of India and many Asian countries and observations, religious observations, but I've never heard of people claiming that they just spontaneously disappeared. We hear about people losing time, about people seeing ahead of time, doing time slips and stuff, dimensional slips. But this seems something different. It seems like it's some weird phenomena where they're like here and present, but they're just somehow not able to be observed or heard.
Right.
And so that seems to me to, and I mentioned this in that podcast, that what if that's what the Bigfoot are doing, and that's why people, are seeing and observing that they're just able to phase in and out, because whatever phenomena is at work when it's happening to people, and whatever phenomena these gurus have figured out from forever ago, this has been reported, that people could disappear and bilocate and levitate and all this stuff. What if they they know how to do this?
Right. Yeah.
Because we often attribute them with having a human or better intellect. I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously, I don't talk to one, but it seems to me they seem plenty intelligent enough to avoid us when they want to, so they got to be pretty bright.
They're wise, at least.
Yeah, they're smart. They're smart to stay away from us. But could they know how to do it? And that's a question that I raised on that podcast. And I think it's, if you're going to accept one phenomena, you kind of
accept them all.
You got to at least have an open mind for
Right.
the others. I don't know. I question that. People are willing to believe in ghosts but not in UFOs, or they're willing to believe in ghosts and UFOs but not in Bigfoot.
Right.
It's like, well, why? How can you draw the line?
Right.
Where's that discrepancy coming from you personally? That we can have these intangible beings around us at all times, raising hell and even trying to possess people, but we can't have these undiscovered beings in the forests and wilds of the world.
Right,
And so
right.
I think once you accept one, it's kind of all on the table, in my opinion. But, to each his own. I mean, maybe the fact that they at least accept one is a good step in the right direction, because no matter which one you subscribe to, they all require an open mind to a degree.
Yeah, you have to
So,
be. Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I've got to be open to it.
Oh, and by the way, Kade does say you guys do have accents.
I'm sure we do. I have several of them. None of them are very good.
Whether
but
they're good or not, whatever.
None of them are real good, but I have a lot of them. I think accents are absolutely fascinating. I
Yes,
love to hear
absolutely.
accents. I get tired of normal talking. I love listening to people that talk a little differently.
So did you catch Duke's show with Marilena on it?
I did not yet.
my
I have
gosh,
so
yeah,
much I
she's-
have to do.
She's got that South African,
Oh, very cool.
type, accent, and I'm like, oh God, that's awesome.
Marilena, you will have to get in touch with me. I would like to
Yes.
have you on the portal as well.
Yes.
We've got another call.
Oh, another call. Nice.
We've got another call here. So let's talk to area code 530. You're on the air.
Hi guys, how you doing? It's Sage.
Oh,
Hi, Sage. Welcome to the show. How's everything?
Good. It's really weird what you guys are talking about, because I've had the same conversation with 3 other people in your chat and one other just recently, and I'm not sure she wants to stay private, so I'm going to just keep it private. But that it's the same pretty much thing, is that, you kind of start with one phenomenon and it opens up to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you have all of them. Coming here triggered me remembering, or I always knew it, but, I kind of pushed it into the back of my head, because it's weird how you get into an kind of like a weird stasis or a weird understanding where you can deal with ghosts, and that's fine. And they don't scare you anymore.
Right.
And you can deal with ships and, your little guys that come or whatever, and that's cool, and that doesn't bother you. But, a family of Bigfoot, when you're a child, camping terrifies you so much that when you start talking about it at my age, you still have nightmares from it.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty potent stuff.
You
there,
know,
huh?
so I mean, there's like that's like serious like levity. I mean, I've gone through brain surgery and come back, and that's a straight up memory that I've carried throughout that whole time, and it hasn't changed.
That was real potent, huh?
Yeah, and I didn't even know that it was a big area for Bigfoot. I didn't know that up in Northern California that was a huge. I didn't know up by like Shasta area that was a big area. Like I had no idea coming in. Like I didn't know anything about Bigfoot. I didn't know. And like I didn't. Duke can tell you. I talked to him. Like I had no idea. Like I didn't know.
Right.
I knew nothing.
Wow.
And there they were.
I was like, what?
How old were you when this happened?
I was young. I was very, very young.
Okay.
I was hunting and fishing when I was I would say I was trying to figure out the year, and I would say I was probably about 6.
Okay.
And I was in the back of the camper, and the adults were in the motorhome, and I was in the back of the truck with my dog.
Wow.
Because, you know, back in the 80s, that was safe.
Oh, sure.
Because they always left the kids outside. Why did they do that? But they did. They always left us outside. I remember my little tiny dog growling, and I wake up and I see this whole family, and they walk through the camp.
Wow.
And then I woke up, and then I got in trouble for waking up the whole.
Did you scream, or what do you mean?
I was like terrified, like I was crying. I remember them somewhat. After I talked about it, I actually called Odyssey. That's who I was told to talk to, was Carrie at Odyssey. And after the nightmare, I felt so incredibly embarrassed because I called him like right after the nightmare, and I was like, "Oh my God, have you ever heard of anyone being terrified of Bigfoot with teeth?" Because I could like see the image of them pressed up against the glass and the breath. But I didn't like it was. They had babies, like in my mind, and like as a child, I could understand. Like it was. I had a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was almost like I could rationalize it, but I was also terrified.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot for.
Does that make any sense?
Well, what do you mean by you had a puppy? Your own dog that you were with, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, like I'm sitting there like you know, like so I'm like trying to protect my puppy because that's my own thing that I only have.
Right. Okay.
And I'm terrified of that puppy, or maybe that's just my adult mind going back and trying to rationalize it. But as I look back on it, it didn't, you know, like I know that they can be mean. Sure, I get that. And it didn't hurt me. And but I don't remember moving. I don't remember screaming. I don't remember doing anything. I just remember like tears coming down my eyes. Like it wasn't like a good jolly old time that I was going to climb out of the back and go hitch a ride with them. Harry and the Hendersons.
It's amazing the amount of people that report this potent fear, and to me it makes me wonder if that's is that some kind of genetic memory awakening from our lineage when maybe we were competing directly with these things for the good land or something. I don't know, but
well, and so I so don't like to talk about this, so I'm going to talk about this one time.
Okay.
And that's what instilled this absolute terrifying fear in me that I used to get, where I would it would be this massive it would be like if you were walking and you knew something horrible was behind you and you had to run, and no matter what, it was one step behind you, and it was gonna get you. And ever since that, I had that, and I try so hard because it's such a terrifying fear. I hate it.
Right.
But that's the one thing that I go with when I and I'm
right. That's a whole lot for a young mind to comprehend, though. I mean, that's the kind of thing that nobody could probably forget. Being in such a incredibly adrenalized and stressful situation,
Right.
and you're all alone beside that. So it's like you and this dog, nobody's anywhere nearby that you feel safe. So it wasn't like you had a shelter. I mean, you had to deal with that on your own, and then.
Well, I mean, I never did, and I don't really look at it that way. I was always protected one way or another, and those were my guides and guardians. And
right.
I
understand.
I kind of look at it as it just I've always just seen things, and my perception has changed, and so now I can block it off, and and you talk about things and I'll get off, and I'm like, no, no way. And it's just all about what I won't let it in. I just, because I didn't know what I was dealing with.
Sure.
But that interview with Marlene, I absolutely can sympathize with her. I can understand with her. I've gone through a lot that she's gone through. She's not the only person. Her coming out was extremely amazing, and I stand 100% beside her.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That was. Yeah, a phenomenal thing. And that's just that's such an amazing thing. But, I'm going to go back to the same thing Grant Cameron told me. We're experiencers, and the experiences come with us.
Right.
Good point.
One way or another. So, I'm sure your cat's tired of me talking, so I'm sorry, I'll wrap it up. But, it's the portals, the weird ships, the downloads, the missing time, the being in two places at once, the dreaming and it happening, the remembering things that didn't happen and meeting someone and then remembering the exact same thing, knowing someone that you've never met before. All of this stuff is not coincidental. It's not.
Right.
And then you come here, and then everybody's like, that's my life. That's not normal. I mean, that's not a coincidence. That's
sure.
A set up divine,
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
I just, you guys are so on the right track. And I talked to very few people, and everyone I talked to was talking about the same thing. So I just wanted to say, hey, I'm back, and you guys are on the right track.
Excellent.
That's wonderful, and thank you so much, because it's good. I mean, we're never quite sure what we're saying, if it resonates or not.
Right.
All we can do is just observe this from as from our own perspectives, and the fact that it resonates with others, and that I think we've kind of all found each other here on the show, and I think that that's great because there's so many commonalities of people that end up becoming invested in the show. A lot of you guys out there are experiencers. You're experiencing stuff and have dealt with things throughout the course of your lives, and I think that it's just given us the ability to draw strength from each other, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's pretty magical to me.
And I got to say that at least I feel that they've done a really good job at separating us, or trying to.
Who?
Because, we're spread out across everywhere, and I don't know who, but whoever it was, because no one lives by me.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right.
The phenomena.
We're so separated. We're not close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
We have to search each other out. That also can't be a coincidence.
Right. Yeah. But we managed to find each other anyway.
It's not like do you have 200 people in your city that you go into the bar and talk about this every night?
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I don't personally, but yeah.
No?
No.
I bring them all to here.
No, because if you did,
Yeah,
you wouldn't have a radio show.
that's right.
That's right.
Our people gather here.
Yep.
Yep.
This is where we all
Yeah.
get together.
So I'm just saying, whoever planned this, they did they tried to do a great job, but we're still beating them.
Right.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
So, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys all. I love you guys all. I'm sorry it took so much time, but it really felt like all of that was important. All of you guys are amazing.
Oh,
and everything whatever has happened, it was all meant to happen in whatever way it's fallen.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for being a part of the family and for being on the show. I really appreciate your contributions.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, of course. And call in whenever you want. This is what the show is about, Sage. It's not about Don and I just flapping our lips. This is a discussion, and the more of you guys that call in and contribute, the better the shows are.
Exactly.
So
Becomes the true
don't ever
discussion.
apologize about that. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Don.
Yep.
So, but thank you for calling in tonight.
Oh, well, I appreciate you guys all. So
Oh, thank you.
thank you.
Anytime, my lady.
All
You have a
right.
great
Bye.
night. We'll see ya.
Bye, Sage. Wow, that phone
Bye.
line's heating up.
We are heating up. We got another call. Got a couple more right after. Whoops, what happened there? How come that one went unmuted? Oh, it disconnected. Okay. I got another call here, and this one is from area code 228. You're on the air.
Well, hello, it's Bob Hazel. A big shout out to you guys.
Hi.
Great show, Brent and Don.
Oh, thank
And
you.
hello to everyone in the YouTube chat. Sage, thank you for sharing. And a big shout out to Carrie Arnold and Daniela Agliolo of Bigfoot Odyssey. And if you haven't seen episode 5 of Bigfoot Odyssey on YouTube, it's a must-see. It's a great encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Marilena, I know you're in the chat on YouTube. Absolutely great interview with Duke of World Bigfoot Radio. That was truly awesome. And Brent, I sent you a picture earlier.
You did.
And it's rather unusual. And it really it was taken with my cell phone. I was in the yard a few days ago. And my son was we built a fire, and I had a prayer bundle that was given to me by a Choctaw elder, and I put it in the fire, and he's a firekeeper, a peacekeeper, and my son is also a firekeeper, and I put it in the fire as I lit the fire as an oak log, and yes, I say a lot of sorry guys, I get nervous.
That's okay. You're doing great.
The first picture that I submitted to you,
Mm-hmm.
well, my son was making a quirky face, okay, and he wasn't facing the fire. And so, of course, I wanted to take a second picture with him smiling a little better so I could send it to some relatives. But the first picture, there was a fireball, that flew up out of the fire. Now, it was not visible with the eye, but it was caught on film with my cell phone. And when I looked at the picture before I was going to send, I was choosing which picture to send to a relative. And I looked at it and saw the fireball, and you called it a plasma ball, and I'd never really heard it referred to like that. But there's an actual presence in that ball, and it really freaks me out. What was your take on that, Brent?
Well, it's an interesting thing. I've seen fires flap up and pieces of the fire go out, but this one is very circular, and that I thought was a little interesting. Yeah. It's compelling. It's certainly a compelling capture. It does make me wonder what was going on in the situation. I have it on screen now so that people can see it. I think it's hard to say for sure as just one glimpse of a moment in time, but a lot of things go along with these kind of things. Like, what did it feel like there? Did it feel like there was something more going on, and was there an energy that changed when this appeared, or things like that? But I think it's a
Yes, Brent. As a matter of fact, yes. The prayer bundle that was put in the fire. I'm not sure of what the person prayed, but prayer bundles are made with prayers in mind to Creator, and it was a cleansing bundle, and so therefore, whatever shot up out of my fire kettle, it was either a spirit guide in that orb plasma, or it was a not good presence. When I first viewed it, it almost looked like the Unabomber. And when I viewed it as another second time, it looks like the face of a hawk.
Oh.
And I really couldn't tell. And so while you're showing it to your audience, maybe they have a little different take on what they're seeing. It's an actual photo. It's not altered in any way.
Right. No, it's a really cool capture. I actually years ago I took some photos of the Mrs. Portal back in Minnesota, and we were doing a kind of a little bonfire on the beach, and for some reason in one of the pictures she had this halo of fire, and it was really, really unique, and I still have it somewhere. I'll have to dig it up, but it was just the most interesting thing. Now, it could have been just some artifact of the light, and perhaps my lens wasn't as clean as that should have been, but it really looked like she had a halo of fire, and I thought, wow, that's really unique. And so I think that, fire has been a sacred object for a lot of shamanistic and esoteric traditions forever. And there is, of course, the elementals, the elementals of fire and such, and there is a spirit to it, I think. And could those things being captured in these images? Yeah, I think so. I think that there's a real possibility to that. Would it be convincing to the layperson? Probably not. But I having experienced that myself, I think that those kind of images are really, really cool and very powerful.
Well, it was really wild. It's the first time I have caught anything like that on film. And I was very amazed because as I was taking the picture, it wasn't that fire, whatever it is, it was not visible.
Sure.
But it was visible in the picture after it was taken. And so that really, it threw me aback, made me scratch my head a little and say, just what is that?
Right.
And I hadn't built a fire in that fire kettle in about, 2 years. And so, of course, I wanted the fire to be cleansed.
Yeah.
And yes, someone had given me a prayer bundle to do so. Now, as you look at it more in life, I'm sure you'll ponder on it a little. Shoot me your feedback, whatever you think. And, I really love you guys. And you give us laughs and smiles. You have lots of humor in your show, and we really appreciate you. And I have really missed everyone. I've been a little preoccupied with my son. Y'all are just great, and we love you so much.
Well, we love you too, and thanks for coming on and calling in. And it's great to hear from you again.
You too. And hi, Don. Yes, I just thought I would just submit that and give you a look-see.
Excellent.
Well,
Make
thank
you
you.
ponder and wonder a little.
I
And
appreciate
I will
it.
bid you adieu and have a wonderful evening.
Night,
Okay.
Hazel.
Good night. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Good night.
And we have more calls here, and this one's coming from area code 518. You're on the air.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Is Don around?
Yeah, I'm right here.
You there, Don?
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. What's that? Huh?
Good, brother.
Good.
Love it. I'm not just calling for Don. I'm calling for both you guys.
Okay.
I just want to say, that what you guys did, what you do, Five Hazel was called in, and that was just, oh my God. It's like, I've been there before. My mom sees visions in the fireplace when she opens up the fire and it sees stuff, and it's like, that stuff's real.
Oh, yeah.
First of all.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's like, it just brings me back to this place of what is everything? What is life?
Mm-hmm.
What is Don Longbeard? First of all, and Jake, what are you doing? Jake, wait, guys, I'm sorry. Jake, get over here. We got Don Longbeard and fucking Brett on us. Yeah, we're going live. Get over here. I'm sorry, guys.
Leave it to the BLB boys.
Jake. Okay, guys, he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I just wanted to say you guys are totally awesome.
Oh, thanks.
We love you, and I mean, the guests you have, the stuff that everything just kind of makes sense.
Oh,
And
thanks, brother.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. So crazy. I love listening to your show.
Excellent.
Oh, thank you,
I
man.
just want to say thanks,
Thank you.
first of all. And, you guys are awesome, man. We love you.
All right.
We
That's
love you
awesome.
guys, too,
And
man.
me and Jake's in the middle of doing something over there. I got to go. But I just wanted to call in and say thanks so much for all you do.
Thank you, brother. You guys have a great
Don
night.
Longbeard, man, we love you, brother.
All right, Adam. We'll talk to you later.
Hey,
bud.
baby. Love you, man.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Well,
See
there
ya
you go. We got the BLB boys up in here, too.
BLB boys, it's a full house of fun here on the Paranormal Portal, ladies and gentlemen. You just never know who's going to come on the line or call in or be a part of the show. But it is just an amazing experience every show. I got to tell you, we have never had the same show twice.
No,
ever.
unless we're talking about crash and burns. We've had one or two of those.
Well, we've had plenty of problems. There's no question that things always go sideways on the show. But
That's true.
we have the greatest audience and greatest people participating with us. So
Wow. Don't read the chat, Brent. Don't get jealous. It's okay. I share the spotlight with my best friend over here.
oh well,
Even though it's his damn show.
well, you're a part of the show too, brother. You're part of the heartbeat of the portal.
Whoa, Barry. Whoa, Barry. He says female Sasquatches stroke Don's long beard.
I heard a story like that once.
Oh, my
There was
goodness.
No, it was kind of a cool story. And what it was is apparently there was a truck driver who was coming along. And this is something I've heard a long time ago, so I'm going to probably beat the hell out of it as I'm trying to recall the details. But
Kate says Brent does okay, I guess.
I can't grow a beard, okay? I've tried. It won't grow. No, I'm just kidding. I tell you, this guy was coming up in his semi-truck, and he comes up and he sees something in the road, and he's like, what's going on? And he sees this big lump in the road. So he kind of pulls up, and he noticed the lump is kind of hairy. And then he gets a little closer, and he realizes that apparently he can see it well enough to see that it is a large male Sasquatch with a little toddler one, and the toddler one is sitting down throwing a tantrum.
Oh.
So he kind of jackknifes his semi-rig enough to block traffic so that nobody coming up will, be able to get in the way with this. Turns on his hazards, and he says while he's doing this, allegedly, A female Sasquatch suddenly appears in his window and looks at him with these sweet eyes like, oh, thank you. And this guy had a full beard as well.
Wow.
And apparently she reached in the window, which was down, and stroked his beard. And then finally the big male was able to get this little toddler one off the road.
Oh, jeez.
Then she got down and left. Now, that's allegedly a true story. Is it true? I don't know. But I just thought that was funny. Somebody's talking about Sasquatch stroking your beard, and it's like, ooh, I heard something like that once. So apparently
it happens.
Apparently, it's allegedly happened.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do if something like that happened. Something like, hey,
well, make sure you get her number, Don.
Yeah, no doubt. Probably be the last number I need too. My name's Albert Austin, and I don't have any snuff.
She'll bring you home and manscape you.
Oh, only if she uses a lawnmower too.
Yeah. Don't want to be nicking the man meat there, Don. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist, ladies and gentlemen. But Don, you don't need a lawnmower too. You need a weed whip.
That's a 2-stroke.
Ooh, hey, I don't know. I don't want to hear about stuff like that, Don. This is a family show.
Anxiety Talk says we should put some of our inside jokes on T-shirts. I agree.
Well, there you go. Get to work, Longbeard.
Oh my!
There are no dull moments here, ladies and gentlemen.
I just don't want to end up, being, Tony Merkel on Wes's ads. No way! No! Wes, no! I gotta pimp my stuff.
No, I'm selling beard oil.
Oh boy,
that stuff is good though. I guess I've read a bunch of the reviews of Tony's beard oil that he's got cooking, and I guess people are really loving the stuff.
Yeah, well, no doubt. I give it crap, but honestly, I haven't tried it, so I really don't know.
Yeah, well,
but I just can't imagine what Dogman would smell like.
I'm betting it probably smells a lot like sage and oak or something. It's probably where they're going with it. It's more of a titling thing.
If I put it on, will I slip through a portal? Oh wait, I already do.
every Wednesday and Saturday you do.
And 3 times during
we pull
the week.
you in all the time. As much as you'll show up, we'll drag you into the portal, Don. You're the draw.
Oh wow,
for sure.
Wow.
But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see there's no more calls.
No more calls. Okay.
I guess nobody else wants to talk to us.
That's okay.
That's all right. We can talk too. We know how. The first thing I want to talk to you about is apparently, according to the hot sheets done, which is singular40.com, ladies and gentlemen. If you
hot sheets
want to catch up on the world of the Fortean information, head over and check out singular40.com. All one word, Singular Fortean. Really great site. The Whalens, the husband and wife couple put it on, and they do a hell of a job. I really like this site. There's always something new and interesting here, and they're talking about a book on this one. It's called Cowboys and Saurians. Combines high strangeness with stories of undiscovered animals. So it says, Cowboys and Saurians, Dinosaurs and Prehistoric Beasts, as seen by the pioneers, written by John LeMay, author of The Real Cowboy and Aliens UFO Encounters in the Old West. Also West, sorry, the Old West, not Old West.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, Germer. No, I'm just kidding. And published in September 2019, is a collection of accounts from the late 19th and early 20th century, detailing encounters with seemingly impossible saurians. According to the book's synopsis, no, this book is not merely about the tombstone pterodactyl and the notorious, possibly non-existent Thunderbird photo. This book is, in fact, about every dinosaurian creature to ever have a rifle pointed at it by a cowpoke along the trail. Mm-hmm. Courtesy of real newspaper articles collected from the pioneer period, you'll marvel as pterodactyl invade Van Meter, Iowa, a plesiosaur attacks spelunkers in Arkansas, and ghost dinosaurs glide across the Badlands in South Dakota. In the pages ahead, you'll ask yourself, did Brigham Young really try to catch Utah's Bear Lake monster? Did a crow medicine man carry an enchanted what the hell is that word? Meganura? Meganuera with him to Custer's last stand? Was the first Komodo dragon discovered in 1910 Indonesia or actually in 1883 Indiana? Could the Marfa lights be bioluminescent pterodactyls? Did a theropod dinosaur kill a young boy in Crosswicks, Ohio? Was the serpent of San Marcial, New Mexico, what was the serpent of New Marcial, or San Marcial rather? And finally, did the tombstone pterodactyl live on to terrify Utah in 1903? So that's courtesy of newspaper reports of yore. Uncover the truth of remnant dinosaurs in the Old West. LeMay provides a helpful introduction at the beginning of the book to those whom the idea of remnant dinosaurs might be new, which can be skipped by the experienced cryptozoologists already familiar with the subject. Before launching directly into the Tales of the Old West era monsters with Pterodactyl of Tombstone, new fans and experienced researchers alike will appreciate his approach to the topic, as LeMay provides a nuanced, well-researched history of the controversial subject or story and its associated photograph, which may or may not exist. The author isn't afraid to delve into high strangeness either, and if there are elements thereof existent in an account, LeMay will tell you about them. From the Piazza bird to the Van Meter visitor to the Marfa lights, LeMay offers a wide array of phenomena from off the beaten path. He provides a plethora of sources for each, drawing from historical newspaper accounts and the previous explorations of his fellow cryptozoologists, even peppering the book with the original art and illustrations that went into print whenever possible. LeMay doesn't offer a lot of definitive solutions to the mysteries presented in this book, being content to provide the reader with the tools to make their own determination. These stories are wildly entertaining, but hard facts, let alone proof, are difficult to come by, and LeMay is well aware of the struggle intrinsic to the field. To that end, there's no agenda here. He's not trying to sell you a paradigm. The only bill of goods within this book is a batch of intriguing stories retold with excellent research. Cowboys and Saurians is a well-researched, open-minded tour of the Old West. Most fantastic tales of saurian encounters, sure to appeal to both new seekers and established cryptozoological researchers alike. The book is available for purchase through Amazon. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking for some cool paranormal reading, and if you're a fan of the Old West, then you can't lose. I don't remember any pterosaurs at the OK Corral, but you never know.
Well, yeah. Who knows?
Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? We're not trying to tell you what is or isn't. We're just telling you what's out there.
What's to tell?
What people are talking about. Here's one that has to do with Tucker Carlson. Oh, we got another phone call. Well, we better get to the new phone call. Let's see who's on the horn. And this is area code 845. You're on the air.
Jake.
Hello. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing
How
well.
are you?
I'm good.
Who are we talking to?
I've been listening to your show for a few weeks now. Really enjoy. You guys have a nice open discussion about things.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
I had some comments about Bigfoot, and then, boy, you guys went off into paranormal. I should probably talk all night. I spent a lot of time researching this stuff, and I find it really intriguing and interesting.
Well, please, go ahead.
I don't even know where to start. I just thought I would, jump in and make some comments and say hello and let you guys know I appreciate the show.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
But you guys were discussing some of the Bigfoot. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you guys are discussing some of the Bigfoot stuff, like the range and habitat sort of thing. There's a tremendous amount of information on YouTube now through a lot of different places. One that I've been listening to a lot lately is Bigfoot Case Files, and they basically took books that people wrote about case history of them, and they've put it to audio. And that's a great way to get an idea of, like, sort of some of their behavior and stuff. And when you start to listen to groups of these, you start to pick out the pieces of commonality between them.
Sure. I agree.
Yep.
So those are just a few comments I wanted to make.
Absolutely. No, I think that's great. And I think, since, there's none in a cage anywhere where people are watching them and recording their behaviors. So I think you really have to diversify your search through, several different sources. And so, I think there's many people that may be on the right path in this subject, but there's also a lot of competing ideas, and I think it's probably good to expand your where you're getting information from as much as you can, because I think everybody brings something to the table. There's something everybody brings to the discussion.
Yeah, and the wider the set of data you have, the more you have to compare against each other, and you can kind of start to see patterns.
Yeah.
I spent like the last year really intently studying this, mostly out of curiosity, and there's a lot of stuff. They do seem to migrate to some degree, and it also seems to depend. Apparently, there's 4 or 5 different types of Bigfoot, depending where you are in the North American part of the planet here, the marble here. And so each of those has its own subset of behaviors. And then if you take into account, if you run into, say a different human on a different day, you catch a person on a bad day, how are they going to act on a bad day versus a good day?
Right.
So sometimes I think some of these aggressive encounters might actually come out of, either he's in a bad mood or, you caught him, surprised him, and he's trying to help his family move somewhere or something like that.
Right.
I say him, but obviously could be a male or a female.
Sure.
And so I think, like, I've heard people say, they're really friendly, they're fine, and I've heard people say, never go near them. And it's like, I think there's a huge range here, and I think people develop their idea based on one experience, and they don't keep their mind open to the entire set of possibilities.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. And you brought up the types, and I know our good friend, and he's actually a mod on our channel, but he's also the creator of World Bigfoot Radio channel on YouTube.
He's
Duke
on
Sullivan.
point. He's on point.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work with trying to nail down the types, and he's come up with some really great ideas about that. And if you weren't familiar with him, I was going to steer you towards that, because I think that it's very, very compelling information that he puts on the table, and it's at least worth a review.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely and wholeheartedly agree, and actually I came onto his channel through listening to you guys' podcast, so thank you for that as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he's a good friend of ours as well, so it works out real well. But yeah, I mean, it's great, and it's really nice to meet you. How about in your neck of the woods? Do you guys get a lot of reports from up there?
Yeah, not a tremendous amount, but I am in New York State, and we used to have a camp up in Lake George, which is not too far from Whitehall, New York, and there are quite a few experiences up there. I think they were late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. A couple police officers actually tell their story about their encounters up there. Oh. And I know they've had them in Vermont on the other side of Lake George as well. They've been reported. And there's also something interesting up there. Actually, this pertains directly to your show, is the Vermont Triangle. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that at all.
I've heard that mentioned before. I'm not really sure about what it means, but yeah.
Okay, well, there's a number of disappearances up there that are really strange, and some other strange ongoings and happenings. So you might check into that as well. Oh. There's a number of good YouTube videos on that. And another thing that pertains to this Bigfoot thing and this UFO phenomena and all this sort of paranormal stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiar with David Paulides and the Missing 411.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. I've listened to a lot of his interviews. And
he just put.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they're excellent. Yeah. He just put out a new movie called The Hunted, and one of the people that he interviews in there talks about, she's a hunter, and she talks about seeing something just like the Predator in the woods, and she actually got a photo of it.
Wow.
So that's something interesting to check out as well along those lines. So, yeah, and I guess at the same time, I think there was a UFO spotted at a school, like within a mile or two of where she was hunting. So there's some really interesting, correlations there. I guess you can't obviously directly connect them, but there's some interesting, seemingly in the same time frame, similar paranormal type things going on at once.
Sure. If you don't mind, if you come across some videos that you think I should check out regarding that Vermont Triangle, I would love to see them. Could you email them to me at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com? I would really appreciate that.
Paranormal radio@gmail. Yeah, I will. I'll email you, and I have a YouTube channel too, so I'll give you my contact info when I email you as well.
Oh, perfect.
We'll stay in touch because you guys are doing a great job.
Ah, thank you.
Thanks a bunch, brother.
Yeah, I will dig up a bunch of links and shoot them to you. You guys can tie them into this awesome conversation.
All right, man. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much, and it's a great pleasure to meet you. What's your first name?
First name is Carlton, and I have the YouTube channel, the Pharmacy Seeds Network.
Right.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, brother. Thank you so much for calling in and being a part of the show.
Pleasure to meet you as well. You guys carry on. Thanks.
All right.
All right, we'll see
Thank
you
you,
now.
sir. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that was Pharmacy Seed. Yeah, he's been in our chat a few times. So yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
It's always neat to meet you guys, to hear from you and to hear your thoughts on these things. I know I unfortunately don't get much of a chance to participate in the chat usually, so I'm sure there's a ton of stuff going on here I don't even know about. But I always like it when you guys call in. So by all means, feel free to call in whenever you like because it's just such a big part of the show.
And it's been a great show with all these calls we've gotten too. It brings that community together, and it proves that, no matter where you are, you can always tap into the portal.
Tap us in, tap into us, tap us into us, whatever. Yeah, you can connect with us. We love us some connecting.
And this is what you wanted when you first started.
I know. Yeah.
So
this is the vision I had was that people would call in and make the portal a Sasquatch Chronicles. It really was. I was thinking I'm just gonna hang the shingle out and people will just start calling. It'll be great. And then it's 2 years later. Finally, people are calling. 3 years total. But
it takes time.
You
have to build your brand.
It does building the brand.
Yep.
Absolutely. That was deep, Don. Kade says that was deep, Don.
Which one?
I don't know. I'm not sure what it was deep, Don. What's deep?
I don't know. I don't know. My accent. Oh, what did somebody say something about? Somebody wanted me to. So the 12th is Brandon Blackfire's birthday. So he wants me to sing him happy birthday.
Oh, really? Really? Are you're
Hey, Brandon.
You're gonna sing.
Guess what?
Don't do a copyrighted birthday song.
You know what? The birthday song is copywritten.
Yeah, it is.
Some bastards.
Yeah, I know.
But here you go, buddy, because it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. That's.
Hey, I tell you what. Maybe that's something I could do. Like if we ever start our Patreon, we get our Patreon going, and maybe I'll offer singing. Birthday.
That's a
happy
great
birthday to.
Oh my god!
But you have to be a upper tier member.
That's another announcement that's forthcoming. Is that we're going to be unveiling
down the road
a Patreon
down the road.
Not too far down the road. It should be in the near future. But we were just working on some of that structure of that tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to become even a bigger part of the family, you can certainly do that.
Oh, Cha-Cha says, please no. I think I should do it just for Cha-Cha.
Hey. You guys need a room or what? All right. But that'll be coming up, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're interested in being even more of a member of the family, and that's not to disqualify anybody, but it's just, it's a member.
Today's the 4th.
Okay.
Tomorrow is Krampusnacht. You're right, Cameron. I forgot.
Krampusnacht.
Tomorrow's Krampusnacht.
Oh, so you're gonna start dragging kids away, Don?
Well, at least beating them with a stick.
You're like our local.
You're getting my gunny sack, you little.
You're like our local Krampus.
I know. Everybody wants to be all traditional and stuff, and then when I dress up as Krampus, they all get crampy.
Well, happy Krampusnacht to everybody. Or Nacht.
Oh, no. Kade, no. A Patreon perk cannot be stroking Don's beard because, and here's why.
Dear God. We actually want people to sign up for it. That's why.
Here's why. Because in that said stroking of Don's beautiful manly locks on his face, this right here, they could pluck one out. Now they have a piece of Don to go and play voodoo doll with. No, it ain't gonna happen.
Why? Somebody already got your hand to attack you. I mean, somebody might already have one out there.
I don't know. Yeah, no doubt.
They're sitting there with their Don action figure going.
Going, Alien hand syndrome. It's not just for losers.
Yeah. There you go. Don's already got a whammy on him, I'm sure. Him and his
Probably.
alien hand. That's so hilarious. I mean, I feel bad for you if it's like scary, but I mean,
It's just weird.
it is weird. Very, very weird.
Oh, Paisley says there's Krampus caroling in Spokane. On
God, what
Friday
does that
night.
sound like? Is that a
don't
good
know.
sound or is that a terrifying
You know,
sound?
I can imagine it being like, Gorgoroth or, Gojira or
Yeah,
something.
it's like
somebody walking around.
the playlist from the Exorcist or something. What the hell would Krampus knocked caroling sound like? Bring out your kids.
Yeah, nobody wants. Nessie Monster says someone might genetically clone Don from his pure DNA. I don't know why anybody do that. Oh my
You
goodness!
can never have too many long beards.
Oh yes, you can.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I've got one, and I think that's my
he's
quota.
Got plenty.
I think my quota is one, but maybe other people want more. I don't know.
Why do you have me on?
Because you're talking about your beard. I just wanted people to get the full up close and personal beard vision.
Oh goodness!
They look at me every other night of the week, so when you're here, I got to exploit that.
Exploit it.
Yeah.
Exploit the gray in the beard.
Well, whatever. It's not necessarily the gray people are paying attention to. It's the silky brown ones.
It's
my
the
God,
silky ones. It's so soft and silky.
they're just lovely.
It's just crazy.
My
Why are we
God.
talking about my beard?
I didn't bring it up. It was Kade and his petting that really
that's
did this.
true. Yeah, it's Kate's fault.
Kade bought
Boy,
the
when he
petting.
chimes in, don't he?
He comes from down under, and he comes right up with the uppercut. That's right, beard vision.
No.
Oh yeah, we could have a beard vision camera on our Patreon.
You know, somebody's already suggested that a long time ago. Somebody said we should get a live feed of Dawn doing whatever Dawn does.
There you go.
Watching Dawn attempt to sleep.
The life of a celebrity, Don.
Oh, God.
You and your beard.
You and your beard. What is it? My beard is bigger than I am.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know. I'm going to retract that. Wow.
Just leaving that all the way the hell alone.
Yep.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, there's never two episodes of the Portal that are anything like the last ones. They're always
do
new.
not exploit his royal beardness. Thank you.
His royal beardness.
That's
Oh, we got to change the subject.
That's what Brett said. Yeah, I like Brett. I like the way you think, sir.
Yeah, there you go. You can have a beard club. You guys can all talk about your beards and grooming tips and stuff. I think that'd be great. All right, here's another story from the Singular 40, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, back to the hot sheets.
This is back to the hot sheets, singular40.com. Again, this one's coming for talking about there is physical evidence of UFOs that the U.S. government is holding, says Tucker Carlson, in an interview with Nick Pope for Ancient Aliens. Mm-hmm. So Tucker Carlson, of course, is one of the top Fox News hosts, and he has a great show. I check it out. I'm surprised to see him speak so candidly about something like this because he's mostly known for his pragmatic, matter of fact, kind of delivery, and to hear that he's, on board with the whole, governments have knowledge of UFOs, I find absolutely compelling. But it says Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson appeared in an episode of Ancient Aliens this past November in which he was interviewed by ufologist Nick Pope, telling him, I've heard this from someone who I think is knowledgeable on the subject, that there is physical evidence in the U.S. government is holding that, would tell us a lot more about what those objects are. Physical evidence? Wreckage? Asked Pope. That is correct, replied Carlson. When asked for the source of this information, Carlson answered, it's, a well-known someone who worked within the government for many years. Who would know? Who would know? And I asked point blank, is there physical evidence of the existence of these objects, these aircraft, whatever they are? Yes, there is. Wreckage in a hangar? Pope? Wreckage, said Carlson. There you go. It says, although Carlson didn't name his source, it's widely believed to be Luis Elizondo, a former Department of Defense DoD intelligence officer and program head for the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, who currently serves as the To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science Director of Global Security and Special Programs. Elizondo has gone on to record on record in the past discussing the evidence of such wreckage and metamaterials recovered therefrom, including an interview with Carlson on Tucker Carlson Tonight. There's a video, of course, that I can't show. It's unclear whether, under the circumstances, why Carlson would be evasive about mentioning Elizondo directly. This news follows the chain of information slowly released through to the Stars Academy of Arts and Science and government sources since 2017, when news broke of the Pentagon's secretive UFO project. Most recently, 5 former Navy servicemen came forward to participate in an interview with Tim McMillan and Popular Mechanics regarding the now famous 2004 Nimitz UFO encounters. It's claimed in the interview that following one of the Nimitz UFO incidents, 2 unknown individuals confiscated all data collected from the encounter. TTSA has recently announced that it will be partnering with the U.S. Army to advance material and technology innovations. Prior to that, Luis Elizondo told the New York Times that the results of any studies done on the metamaterials which TTSA announced were in their possession last July are still pending due to the employment of the scientific method. I think they're pending until they can figure out how to classify them and lock them away. A few months prior to the reportedly acquired metamaterials, 5 Navy pilots told the New York Times that unidentified flying objects were an almost daily occurrence from the summer of 2014 through March 2015. 2 of the pilots, Lieutenant Ryan Graves and Lieutenant Danny Acoin, agreed to go on the record of their experiences with both the New York Times and for the History Channel UFO docuseries Unidentified Inside America's UFO Investigation, a project created in tandem with TTSA. The pilot's testimony prompted several senators to request and receive private hearings on the encounters. In response to the question regarding the pilot's reports, President Trump has gone on record as saying he does not particularly believe that the Navy pilots are seeing UFOs. He also said that we'll see. I mean, that's just a fragment of what he said. I saw that interview. So it's unclear at this time if the president's statements reflect anything other than general disinterest in the subject. The narrative built from these accounts is not without controversy in the UFO community, having received some pushback from researchers. The argument stems mostly from the seemingly cyclical nature of the government's public interest in UFOs and the disinformation associated therewith, exacerbated by the presence within TTSA of former intelligence agency personnel in prominent positions. Yeah, there you go. There you go. See, that's just the problem. They just peppered this thing with all kinds of government insiders. Mm-hmm. So what do you think's going to happen? They're not probably real interested in disclosing anything. These long-festering doubts of TTSA's trustworthiness due to the corporation's association with the U.S. government are now compounded following the Public Benefit Corporation's new agreement with the Army. Yep. So it wasn't just me. I'm glad other people are pushing back on that, because I was frustrated as hell when I heard that they entered into an agreement.
Because they're so benevolent and altruistic.
Right. I mean, if they've got this information, have had it since 1947 with Roswell, I mean, why the hell are they going to all of a sudden be like our friends? You know? It's like, oh, never mind. We'll be a part of your club. Yeah, right. They're just, all it is they're just going to be in lockstep with that. And you know, anything sensitive is never going to clear. Yeah, exactly. Somebody's cashing in.
That's just a lotto right there.
It's just frustrating as hell.
Powerball ticket for them.
Yeah. John Greenwald Jr. of the Black Vault has done significant fact-checking on claims made by TTSA and its representatives, recently publishing a series of statements that show the U.S. Navy never cleared for public release 3 UFO videos distributed by Elizondo and the TTSA, although the Navy did acknowledge the objects within the videos referred to respectively as FLIR 1, Gimbal, and Go Fast were unidentified aerial phenomena. Given these discrepancies, TTSA's statements and their now apparent partnership with the U.S. Army, more people within the UFO community are expressing concerns that the Public Benefit Corporation was created as a massive spin operation to control the narrative surrounding unidentified flying objects.
No way.
However, as more current military personnel come forward to relate their experiences with UFOs, there is little doubt within the community that, if nothing else, the cases being presented have merit. There you go. So that's kind of cool that Tucker Carlson is I guess, interested in this as well.
Yeah, but you know what? And this is only what I've extrapolated from what you just read. It sounds like he's buddies with what's his name?
Well, it could be. I mean, I don't know.
So what does he get for pushing the TTSA agenda?
Yeah, I don't know. That's hard to say.
You know, I mean, because
I don't know. He's Tucker Carlson.
When people like that in that kind of position that Tucker Carlson's in,
mm-hmm.
you know, all of a sudden come out of the closet, quote unquote, air quotes, and says, "Oh no, yeah, UFOs." He's putting his job on the line. You know, I mean, I don't. You know, a lot of people will just attack him now for that. You know, how old was that story, by the way? And when did he make those statements?
Well, let's see. I think it's a brand new story.
So,
because I only read the newest ones. It's from December 2nd, 2019.
Yeah, okay, well, that was...
So, I don't know.
It was a couple months ago, but...
December 2nd, 2019.
No, you just said September.
I said December.
Oh, okay, I thought you said September.
Nope.
My apologies, but the point is that, you know, unless there's some kind of... In the way I've seen things and the way it's happened that I've seen before, people like that don't just jump on the bandwagon because there's nothing in it for them.
Well, that could be.
And when you're talking about the TTSA, you're not really speaking to me anyhow.
You ain't talking my language. Like that, Don?
Kind of like that.
Kind of like that. Okay, so
ever since I heard they did that deal with the U.S. Army, I'm like, no.
Yeah, me too. That was kind of the end of my hope for anything good coming of that. Not that there aren't great people in the government, but there are, unfortunately, too many people controlling the flow of any information and stopping it altogether. So I don't look for any groundbreaking releases of information anytime soon.
No.
It'll be delayed committees, reviews, and then things will get locked down as far as being threatened to national security. You know, the old national security thing will happen, and it'll just get forgotten about, just like so many other things. So I think the only real research going on is not going to be coming from the government as far as public awareness. It's going to be coming from, you know, private groups and people that are you and me and other people that are out there maybe trying to find the answers, because we don't have any vested interest other than to find out what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
All these other groups have way too much conflicting interests, for sure. So wow, this one sounds pretty dark.
That one, I've read a story regarding that.
Okay, so it says occult symbols found on sheep fatally stabbed in England's New Forest. Sounds like some kids were being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they're all spray painted on.
Mm-hmm.
All these symbols are just spray painted on. So I'm not going to show the images, ladies and gentlemen, because it's just sad and tragic. Unfortunately, there are images with this, but I will tell you that this was done by a bunch of idiots. Nobody that was actually performing, you know, actual rituals.
Yeah.
This was just probably a group of dumb kids trying to meet a demon or a devil. I don't believe that they knew what the hell they were doing. So, says three cows have been non-fatally stabbed and 2 sheep killed in a series of attacks between the 12th and the 20th of November that also included the desecration of a church in England's New Forest in a 219 square mile national park in southern England that is available for use by the public as pasture land. Both dead sheep were found with various occult symbols painted on them. The sheep belonged to Colin Barnes, 76, and his partner, Heather Miles, 68 of Branshaw, who said they found the first victim in U. It says N and then it's EWE. I always want to say U, but it's a U. That they named Fluffy in mid-November following the full moon. I thought maybe it was a case of road rage, that the sheep had damaged someone's car when they hit her, so they'd drawn all over her, Miles said in an interview with the Daily Mail. I don't know anything about witchcraft or devil worship, and I can tell you that neither did the people that did this, but anyway. It was only later when I started thinking about the weird markings that I became suspicious. Now I reckon it might not have been coincidence that it happened on the night of the full moon, and those witches like that. Those witches like that, don't they? See, it doesn't have anything to do with witches and stuff. These are just some idiot kids.
Yeah.
Whether it's devil worship or some nutcase with a big knife, it's bloody worrying because where will it stop? It could be a dog walker or a cyclist next. And what might they do if someone catches them at it, added Barnes. The morning following Fluffy's death, 250-pound heifer belonging to Kay Harrison returned home with a deep gash on his neck. 8 miles away in Linwood on the same day, Mark Deacon also discovered that 2 of his young male cattle had deep wounds that, according to a veterinarian, could have been caused by a knife. I was born on this farm and I've been running it since 1982, Deacon said. You just don't got 2 animals with vertical cuts like that in one night. They were clean, precise cuts, and it's not easy to cut through a cow's hide. But I'm keeping an open mind. Either the person who attacked those sheep has become more ambitious, or the injury has nothing to do with that. Then, on the morning of November 19th, Bramshaw resident Judy Rudd was out walking her dog when she came across another dead sheep, killed and decorated with similarly to the first. St. Peter's Church in Brimshaw was also desecrated during the same time period as the attacks. The church's caretaker, Verger, Verger, John Nash, said that he found nearby road signs and a churchyard notice board had been defaced before discovering the 13th century church itself had been marked. A bunch of idiots. More occult symbols matching what was found on the sheep were found painted on the affected objects, including an inverted cross and the number 666 sprayed onto the church's door. People are concerned. I've been here 15 years and seen a lot of stuff, but nothing like this. Reverend David Bacon told The Independent, it could just be kids, but I don't think it is given the context. Well, I think it is because of the context, and if this guy knew what he was talking about, he would see that same thing. I mean, spray painting symbols on sheep, that is not ritualistic marking. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. There's been witchcraft around here for hundreds of years. See, it's not witchcraft either. The New Forest is well known for witchcraft and black magic happening, and this has obviously gone up a level, said the vicar. It sounds sensational, I suppose.
And also when you say vicar, you're talking about the Church of England.
Well, yeah, this is England. That's where this is happening.
Well, no, it's not necessarily. Church of England is an entity by and of itself.
Yeah.
So,
Gerald Gardner, an early 20th century author, occultist, and early practitioner of Wicca, claimed that a coven of witches to which he belonged had once met in the New Forest. Okay. However, contrary to the depiction in medieval and early modern literature, modern witches and other neo-pagans are not generally associated with any satanic practices.
yes, that is true.
Many of them do not even believe in the traditional Christian duality.
That's because those are called Christians, not pagans.
Right. Singular Fortean Society lead investigator Tobias Whalen doubts that the perpetrator of these attacks is a serious occultist at all. See, Tobias knows his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pentacles traditionally ward against evil spirits. Inverted crosses are the symbol of St. Peter. Exactly. He was crucified upside down. He didn't think he was worthy. And the number 666 has more to do with the Roman Emperor Nero than it does the Antichrist. He said, these symbols have been conflated with Satanism in the modern era, but I would expect anybody with actual occult knowledge to know better. More likely, this is the work of a very sick individual or a small group of individuals who is obsessed with the pop culture depiction of satanic practice. Exactly. Mm-hmm. A similar incident occurred in New Zealand in 2017 when 6 pregnant sheep were slaughtered by an unknown assailant. No seemingly occult imagery was involved in that incident. So there you have it. That is it. But yeah, if you guys could see the markings, I'm not going to show them because I don't want to glorify this at all. But it's
ridiculous.
just it's like what you'd see around some high school or under a bridge that a bunch of
or an abandoned house,
a bunch of
graffiti artists,
disassociated kids that are trying to find some meaning in their life start trying to summon the devil or to get some kind of control over their lives, and they grab a few arbitrary symbols and they think that they're doing the summoning, but they're not. They're just creating bad press most often. So anyway, not that I'm sympathetic necessarily with Satanists at all. I don't really have an opinion either way, I guess, whatever you believe in. But once you start hurting things, then your belief causes a problem. So that's the hot sheets, Don. What do you think of that? Is that it?
I love the hot sheets, but that one story, when I read it, I was like, no, this has not got anything to do with witchcraft. It doesn't have anything to do with paganism.
Right.
It just has something to do with kids who want to be dumb.
Well, yeah. Well, they don't want to be dumb. They want to get. They want to.
That would be dumb.
Yeah. That they are dumb. I don't think they want to be dumb, but they are.
Oh, whatever.
So, yeah, I think it's absolutely tragic when people feel so disassociated with their life that they'll just cling to anything. So they watch a few movies and think, okay, let's go get us a demon so I can get powerful. They watch like Supernatural and figure they're going to go to the crossroads and summon Crowley or something. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Crowley.
Crowley.
He wanted his name to sound like holy.
Did he now?
The Holy Crowley.
Well, he done screwed up because everyone says Crowley.
Yeah, that's true. Anyhow, yes. Hey, can you believe that we are most of the way through the show?
I can believe there's just 10 minutes left.
The first half of it was just awesome with phone calls.
What do you mean the first half? The whole damn thing's been awesome, dude.
Well, the whole thing.
What show you been watching?
I said awesome. The first half was awesome with phone calls.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't hear that last part. That made about
I
the
know,
big
because
difference.
you started to interrupt me.
I know. I just got scared. I was just like terrified.
No, and then so it's been great. Yeah.
That's right. You've gotten a lot of beard recognition tonight.
Wow.
People loving the locks, dude.
Yes, they are. Maybe I should get somebody to like knit me some, faux long beards to sell.
Oh, sure. We'll do those hats with the beards attached to them.
No, those are silly.
Why? Come on, you could have long beards.
Yeah,
you could do a
no.
beanie hat with a pull around beard.
Yeah, I could do the little thingy on it.
Yeah, there you go. You could do some long beards.
Yeah, there you go. That might work.
Yeah.
But those knit your own Viking hat with a beard.
Those are cute. Come on now,
whatever.
Quit hating.
Whatever.
For those of us that can't grow beards, that might be the only way we get. That might be our only option.
I might have to someone to naysay.
Well, he and I are the same, I guess. I can grow some hair on my chin and
on your chinny chin chin.
That's about it, man.
Because I got hairs on my chinny chin chin.
I'm glad you said chin. Okay. That pause made me nervous, but I got some hairs on my chin.
Hey, Morty, don't talk about that stuff no more.
Oh, my God. It's all over.
No.
I'm all verklempt. You just never know, ladies and gentlemen. There's just odd stuff all night long here on the portal. But that's the way we like it. Calling in might extend the show.
No, not really.
It can. It's been known to extend the show. But we hope to, call in because you want to share something, not just because you're trying to belabor the show. But I appreciate that. That's very sweet. If you guys are so beside yourself with the closing of every episode, that's absolute honor to me.
Yeah.
I think that feels wonderful. Yep. But, Marilena, you heading out? Good night.
Good night.
Sweet dreams, or what? I don't know. What is it in South Africa right now? Is it like tomorrow, or is it yesterday? What's going on?
No, I don't think it's tomorrow. I know Kade's tomorrow. He is our future.
Cade is our future.
No, I don't. Well, you know what? I don't know, because she is kind of... Maybe.
That is true.
I don't know.
Well, whatever time it is. Of course, my sister is listening to our interview, Duke. Oh, very nice. Very nice, Marilena. I'll have to check that out. I'm sorry I haven't gotten a chance to yet. I've got 15 things on the burner in front of me all the time. And I'm trying to do it. I'm doing some writing as well, and so I'm just all over the map. I gotta get structured. I must get structured.
I just keep thinking to myself, time management.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
that's probably what I need a lot of. But yeah, they got a whole bunch of things. We're going to be working on the Patreon structures, and we'll announce more as soon as we get more sorted out. But hopefully, you guys will want to participate in that. So that would be great. Many of you are bending over backwards to help and support us, and so this way. A lot of you that have been sending us, donations and gifts and stuff, we can just transfer that into a membership of sorts so that, automatically for those of you that have been doing that already, because, it's just beautiful and it's wonderful, but I want you to, feel like you're gaining a lot from that. And so we'll be developing that in the next few several days, I guess.
Brandon Blackfire says, can't wait for the Patreon.
Oh, very cool.
And the only reason he's saying that is so maybe he can get a video of me singing happy birthday to him. He's very, very, very me-ish on that.
He's very he's a long-beard groupie.
Apparently so.
You got a groupie. That's cool. That's nice, Brandon.
Should I sing it in the Marilyn Monroe?
No, you should not.
Why not? All
Because-
sexy, put on my white dress and get a little blower underneath me.
Don't do that ever again. Never again say that, please.
I might have to do it.
Oh, God. I guess the mental images that came with that were just, honestly, that made me cringe.
Yeah, I just had so many thoughts pop in my head about a video, doing that video.
Yeah, let's stop that. How about football games? Any football?
Dawn in a ghillie suit with a white dress.
Oh, no, it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. Did somebody say that?
No, I just thought of it.
Oh, yeah, you need to stop. Yeah, okay. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming tonight. I can't do any more of that. It's a mutiny. It's a mutiny here, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, it's been a grand journey, of course, as always. But
Mog says I just threw up a little.
see, it's not just me. I just throw up in my mouth a little. Yeah. Ew.
Where'd that ass?
I'm not hating. I'm not hating, dude. But there's just
Black
something.
Tree says subject change. What's for dinner?
Yeah. Remember your vitamins. I don't know. So we got a lot of new things coming up, ladies and gentlemen, and Gabbard is suing Google. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, she's apparently Steven Crowder did a big expose on how they hid her search results during a certain time, and he proved it. Steven Crowder proved it.
Steven,
he's on fire. That guy, I like that guy. Steven Crowder's really got it nailed. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what your political affiliations are, either or. It's not about that. It's just about I'm having trouble with all the vitriol and the unfair play going on for me personally, and that I'm just really struggling on a very fundamental moral level with all of the shenanigans that are going on, and it really makes me very concerned. And I just think people need a choice. They need to have a fair, open choice, and the railroading and the information warfare that's going on right now in our current politisphere is just really, really got me really concerned for the future. I mean, I got a little one that's going to be coming up into this world, and I don't want the world that I hand him to be just a basket case. I'm hoping we get a lot of this stuff sorted out. Here's the bottom line. Whatever you believe is fine. You believe whatever you like. You support whatever you want to support. But if whatever you're believing is causing you to be so hurtful and angry and just opposed to common decency, then there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with what's going on.
Right.
And that's what I have a problem with. I think it's really important that we respect each other's beliefs. We respect each other's opinions. And we respect the right that they can make their own opinions. And, whatever comes out in the wash comes out in the wash. But, there's just so much anger right now. It's just really bothersome. And I don't mean to end this on such a heavy note, but God bless it. I'm just really, really concerned right now. So that's going to about wrap it up for the show tonight. Don, anything in closing?
Just a big hearty thank you to all the calls in. A shout out to the BLB boys and Mr. Kade Moya. Thank you, Five Hazel, for giving a call. Sage, You called in as well. We certainly appreciate that. Was it Carlton with the pharmacy seeds? Is that? I know it was the pharmacy seeds. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Was it
Pharmacy
Chuck?
Seeds called in. Yeah, it was
that
cool to
awesome.
talk to you.
It was nice having all that interaction. And Mr. Carey, of course, called in. Carey Arnold from the Bigfoot Odyssey. Awesome. Oh, aren't we going to be on their show?
We are on the whatever the 18th.
I think the 18th.
18th,
is
yeah. Yep.
Wednesday, I think.
We are. Yeah, it is a Wednesday. So we're going to be on there on
Yeah,
December
it's
18th.
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today, we'll be on Bigfoot Odyssey, just trying to have fun on the airwaves. And God, I was going to say something else, and now it just left my head. So
We were talking about things like Teesprings and yeah, I don't know. Nothing.
I'm doing the water drop. No, I got nothing else. I got nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. So love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. And we will be back. I'll be back tomorrow night with the Night Terrors. And I hope you guys will join me then. And then I'll be back on Friday for the 2-hour show. And then Don will be back with me on Saturday. And we'll tear it up all over again. So love you all. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Thank you for all of you being a part of tonight's show. And we'll talk to you soon. Don't.
No.
Nothing?
Good night.
No good night? No.
No. Be good, be kind, be nice.
We love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. I thought I already said it. We love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can.
There we go.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Love, 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 love.
Night, night.